मारोहाङ लिम्बू सरलाई पनि मेरो वेलकम छ। यस सर नमस्कार सर, मिशिगनबाट हुनुहुन्छ जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई। सरको विषय मैले सुनिसकेको छु। यु आर मोस्टली वेलकम टु दिस जुम मिटिङ। विल लर्न, नयाँ हुनुहुन्छ भने सिक्नुहुन्छ, पुरानो साथीहरूले नयाँ कुरा अझै थप्नुहुन्छ ऊर्जाहरू यसमा। विल सेयर, हामी एकअर्कामा सेयर गर्छौँ। हाम्रो मारोहाङ सर मिशिगनमा, मैले बुझेसम्मलाई मिशिगनमा बस्नुहुन्छ। उहाँ नेपालमा धेरैवटा स्कुल पढाएर आउनुभएको मैले उहाँको फेसबुक हेरेर थाहा पाएको थिएँ। र अहिले उहाँ को-फाउन्डर एजुकेटर एट जर्नल अफ ग्लोबल लिटरेचर्स टेक्नोलोजिज एन्ड इमर्जिङ पेडागोजिसमा गर्नुहुन्छ कामहरू। उहाँले नेपालमा स्कुल्सहरू पढाएर आएर अहिले यहाँ अमेरिकामा पनि उहाँले युनिभर्सिटिज हुँदै टेक्सास र मेक्सिकोमा टिचिङ एसिस्टेन्टको रूपमा काम गर्नुभएको भन्ने मैले बुझेको छु। सरलाई वेलकम टु आवर ग्रुप। जहाँ जुन ठाउँमा जोइन हुनुभएको भए पनि वी आर टुगेदर सेम फ्यामिली। विल सेयर मोर एन्ड हामी सरले बुझेको कुराहरू भरे लास्टमा केही कुराहरू हामी सेयर गर्छौँ सरबाट। हामी 31 जना साथीहरू भेला भएको छौँ। मैले जानी बुझिकन आज गेस्टहरूलाई मैले अलिकति लेटै बोलाएको थिएँ, किनभने हाम्रो नेपालीको बानी हामीलाई थाहा थियो अलिकति हामी ढिलो हुन्छौँ भनेर। त्यसले गरेर मैले अलिकति ढिलो बोलाएँ। उहाँहरू अब सायद 10 मिनटमा आउनुहुन्छ। भक्त दाजुलाई वेलकम छ। भक्त आइफोन लेखेको छ। दाजु वेलकम। दाजुले एउटै पनि जुम मिटिङ छुटाउनुहुन्न, यो उहाँको क्वालिटी हो।
भक्त दाई हाम्रो आरपी दाजुको भाइ, आफ्नै भाइ, हामी जस्तै हो।
ओके, त्यो पार्ट चाहिँ मलाई थाहा छैन नि त।
आरपी दाजु र भक्त दाजु दाजुभाइ।
ओके, त्यो पार्ट मलाई थाहा आज थाहा हुँदैछ।
He is a very 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 gentle leader. Very gentle leader.
उहाँले छोड्नुहुन्न। आइफोन दृश्य होला मेरो विचारमा, आदि वाइए देखि उतापट्टि छैन। वेलकम। अब यो छोटो समयमा उहाँहरू आइपुग्ने बेला हुँदैछ। प्रेम घिम्रे मामाजी, प्रेम सर, पिक्चर कता गयो त मामा? ओके, प्रेम मामा अनम्युट गरेर चाहिँ यो अनप्यासिभको 1.5 महिने यात्रा कस्तो रह्यो? सुखद, सायद सुखदै रह्यो होला। यस छोटो अनुभव साटिदिनु मामाजी।
हजुर, उपस्थित सबै 32 जना जुम मिटिङमा उपस्थित हुनुहुन्छ। म ह्यारिसबर्गबाट प्रेम घिमिरे बोल्दैछु। सबैजनालाई मेरो नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
यो जुन ओनप्यासिभ मा हामी जसरी अहिले लागिरहेका छौँ, मेरो अनुभवको कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि हैन, मैले चाहिँ के भन्छु भन्दाखेरि सबैभन्दा पहिला चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि हामी जति धेरै आफू कुनै पनि विधामा, यो ओनप्यासिभको मात्रै म कुरा गर्दिनँ, कुनै पनि विधामा हामी लागेका छौँ भने त्यसमा आफू एजुकेटेड हुनु अत्यन्त जरुरी छ। एजुकेसन साह्रै धेरै इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा हो कुनै पनि विधाको। र मैले चाहिँ आज के भन्नुपर्छ होला भने, एउटा इन्जिनियरिङ बर्ड भनेर तपाईहरुले सुन्नु पनि भएको छ होला हैन? त्यो एउटा इन्जिनियरिङ बर्ड भन्ने एउटा यस्तो चरा हुन्छ, उसले चाहिँ चराहरूको बैठकमा कुनै दिन पनि मिस नगरिकन उसले एटेन्ड गर्ने भएको हुनाले उसले पछाडि आफ्नो घर बनाउँदाखेरि यति राम्रो बुनेर चाहिँ उसले आफ्नो घर बनायो, जुन चराहरूले बनाउने घरहरूमध्ये गुणहरूमध्येको सबैभन्दा राम्रो चाहिँ घर बनाउने इन्जिनियरिङ बर्ड हो र उसले किन त्यसरी बनाउन सफल भयो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ उसले कुनै पनि बेला कुनै पनि बैठक कुनै पनि सेमिनार कुनै पनि जुम उसले कहिल्यै पनि उसले चाहिँ मिस गरेन। उसले रेगुलर ढङ्गले उसले चाहिँ हरेक बैठक उपस्थित भएर उसले त्यो ज्ञान लिएको हुनाले उसले पछाडि आफ्नो घर त्यसरी बनाउन सफल भयो। र सँगैमा तपाईँले त्यही चराहरू मध्ये कुनै दिन आउने कुनै दिन नआउने कसैले चासो दिने कसैले नदिने हुँदाखेरि तपाईँले जस्तै कागले कसरी चाहिँ गुण बनाउँछ, अरू चराहरूले कसरी गुण बनाउँछन् होइन, अरू चराहरूको घर कस्तो छ भन्ने कुराबाट पनि हामीले पाठ सिक्नुपर्छ होला। कुनै पनि विधामा हामीले चाहिँ नि दैनिक रूपमा यसको बारेमा जान्न यसको बारेमा सिक्न हामीले चाहिँ खोज्नुपर्छ होला भन्ने मेरो चाहिँ नि राय त्यो रहन्छ। र अब मैले मेरो आफ्नो अनुभव मात्रै भन्छु। ओन प्यासिभ भने जस्तै हामीहरूले गरेका सानातिना कामहरूलाई पनि हामीले त्यससँग तुलना गर्न सक्छौँ होइन। मैले एउटा अनुभव के सेयरिङ गर्छु त भन्दाखेरि अब कसैलाई यो 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 ओन प्यासिभ चाहिँ रजिस्टर्ड छ छैन, यो दर्ता हो होइन, यो कस्तो हो के हो भन्ने कुरा नयाँ साथीहरूलाई चाहिँ एकदम यसको चासो भइरहन्छ। र सुरुमा काम गर्दाखेरि हरेक कुराहरूले हामीहरूलाई चाहिँ समस्या पाइरहेको हुन्छ। एउटा उदाहरणको लागि मैले जहिले भन्ने गर्छु, यो यथार्थ कुरा पनि हो। जति बेला म नेपालमा चाहिँ स्कुल चलाएर बस्थेँ, स्कुल चलाउँदाखेरि सुरुमा मैले कक्षा 5 सम्म स्कुल चलाउने मैले चाहिँ एउटा आँट गरेँ। कक्षा 4 सम्म पुग्दासम्म मलाई जिल्ला शिक्षा कार्यालयले स्वीकृति दिएन र त्यति बेला मैले गाली खाइरहेँ, यसको स्कुल स्वीकृति छैन, यहाँ विद्यार्थी एडमिसन गर्नु हुँदैन, यो चाहिँ भुटानको मान्छे हो, यो भाग्छ आदि इत्यादि सबै कुरा चाहिँ भइरहन्थ्यो। जब कक्षा 5 मा चाहिँ कक्षा 5 मा पुग्दाखेरि चाहिँ जिल्ला शिक्षा कार्यालयबाट प्राइमरी दर्ता मैले निकालेँ। त्यस पछाडि मेरो स्कुल भन्दा राम्रो स्कुल अरू होइन भन्ने मान्छे आए हैन। र यो कुनै पनि काम गर्दाखेरि सुरुमा चाहिँ यस्ता समस्याहरू हुन्छन्, यस्ता शङ्काहरू गर्ने कुराहरू हुन्छन्। तर मैले चाहिँ ओन प्यासिभमा चाहिँ के भेटेँ भन्दाखेरि जसले जसरी बाहिरबाट चाहिँ शङ्का गरे पनि यसको कोर भ्यालु जुन कोर मान्छे हो, यसको वास्तविक जिम्मेवार मान्छे को हो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो चाहिँ अत्यन्तै जिम्मेवारी मान्छे, मेरो कारणले सबैको चाहिँ बिचल्ली हुनु हुँदैन भनेर बुझेको मान्छे भएको छ भन्ने मैले चाहिँ बुझेँ। त्यसो हुँदा म ढुक्क छु होइन। अब उहाँहरूले काम गरिरहनु भएको छ, प्रडक्ट उहाँहरूको आइरहेको छ, हामी देखिरहेका छौँ। र हामीले त सुरुदेखि नै अब मैले चाहिँ खास गरेर सुरुदेखि नै के भनेको छु भन्दाखेरि यस्तो अपर्च्युनिटी हामी जस्तो मान्छे, हामी जस्तो पछाडि एकदम आर्थिक स्थितिले चाहिँ नि अब हामीलाई परिस्थितिले पनि हामीलाई यो आर्थिक स्थिति चाहिँ डमाडोल भएको अवस्थामा पुर्याएको छ। यो मैले यो कथा भनिरहनु पर्दैन। भुटानदेखि चाहिँ हुरिएको मान्छे, नेपालमा त्यसरी तड्केर बसेका मान्छे, बल्ल तल्ल हामी अमेरिका आइपुग्यौँ। अनि अब अपर्च्युनिटी चाहिँ नि हामीले हरेक एङ्गलबाट हामीले खोज्नै परेको छ, दुःख पनि गर्नु परेको छ, वेयर हाउसमा गएर पनि काम नगरिसकेको छैन र चुप्प लागेर बस्दाखेरि पनि त अब हामीलाई कहीँबाट अटोमेटिक रूपमा जुट्ने त कुरा होइन। त्यसो हुँदाखेरि यो राम्रो अपर्च्युनिटी सरहरूले चाहिँ पत्ता लगाएर हामीलाई सेयरिङ गर्नुभएको छ। यसमा हामीहरूले चाहिँ लाग्यौँ र यसले कामै गरेन रहेछ भने नि हामीलाई ठुलो क्षति हुँदैन। हामीहरूको सामान्य 102 रुपियाँ क्षति हुँदैमा हाम्रो घरबारी पनि जाँदैन। भएछ भने हामीहरूको एक किसिमको आर्थिक स्थिति यहीँबाट हामीहरूको सुध्रेर जानेवाला छ भन्ने बुझेर नै म यसमा लागेको छु। अब सरहरूको बुझाइ पनि लगभग त्यस्तै होला। तर के चाहिँ हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि अब यो एउटा समयले कोल्टो फेरिसकेको छ, समयले कोल्टो फेरिसकेको छ। अब सधैँ हामीले चाहिँ नि तरकारीको व्यापार खोलेर ग्रोसरी पसल खोलेर मात्रै अब हुनेवाला छैन, किनभने समय धेरै अगाडि गइसक्यो। अबको मार्केट भनेको ग्लोबल मार्केट हो, अबको मार्केट भनेको आइटीको मार्केट हो। म सानो हुँदाखेरि मैले बुझ्दाखेरि चाहिँ आइटी भनेको के हो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ इन्टरनेसनल टेरोरिस्ट भनेर मैले जानेको आइटी भनेको चाहिँ होइन। अनि अब त्यस पछाडि अब आइटी सुन्दै बुझ्दै आइटी भनेको चाहिँ के हो त भन्दाखेरि पछाडि आएर चाहिँ अब यो के भन्ने यसलाई चाहिँ नि होइन, एउटा विश्वभरि नै यसको चाहिँ नि एउटा अर्कै किसिमको चाहिँ नि बनौट बनेर आयो। अनि अब अहिले आएर मैले बुझ्न थालेको आइटी चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि इन्टरनल ट्रान्सफर्मेसन पनि रहेछ के। अब हामीले इन्टरनली आफू ट्रान्सफर्म हुन सकिएन भने पनि अब बेचैन हुनुपर्ने अनि के होला के नहोला भन्नुपर्ने कुराहरूमा हामीहरू तडपिरहनु पर्ने। र म चाहिँ साथीहरूलाई के अनुरोध गर्छु भन्दाखेरि हामी इन्टरनली एउटा ट्रान्सफर पनि हुनुपर्छ। यो एउटा सौभाग्य हो, यो एउटा प्लेटफर्म हामीले पाएका छौँ, यसबाट हामीहरूलाई चाहिँ केही अवसरहरू मिल्छ होला भन्ने हामीहरू सबैले आशा गरेका कुरा हो, आशा गरेका छौँ। त्यसो हुँदा यसमा चाहिँ नि त्यति धेरै आत्तिनु पर्ने डराउनु पर्ने कुरा पनि छैन र कसैलाई ब्लेम गर्नु पनि यसमा कुनै कारणै देख्दिनँ। र स्वइच्छाले स्वस्फूर्त ढङ्गले यसमा लागौँ, हामी सँगै एउटै जहाजमा यात्रा गरौँ भन्ने पनि मेरो विचार हो। म यसैमा सहमत छु र सरहरूको साथीहरूको बुझाइ पनि त्यस्तै होला। हुन्छ, अहिलेलाई यति नै भनौँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Mama. Thank you very much. Narad, Kumari, who is that? Okay. Kumari Acharya, the link. You just send the link to Kumari Acharya. She is going to join it. It is in, yeah. Yeah, that is in ONPASSIVE. Thank you.
कुनै साथीहरूले के बोल्न चाहनु भएको छ भने आफै अनम्युट गर्नु भनेर नोटिस दिउँ। हल्ला भएकोले हामी म्युट गर्छौँ।
म त्यही भन्दैछु। मामाजीलाई धन्यवाद, प्रेम मामालाई धन्यवाद छ आफ्नो कुरा राखिदिएकोमा। यस, हामीले धरे धाडे गर्ने कुराहरूदेखि लिएर यसमा भित्र पसेर यसलाई स्टडी गर्ने कुरा चाहिँ एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ। तपाईहरुलाई भ्याउनु हुन्न होला भनेरै हामीले ग्रुप क्रिएट गरेर त्यो इम्पोर्टेन्ट भिडियोजहरु शेयर गरेको छौं। त्यसलाई हेर्नु होला, यो तपाईहरुकै लागि शेयर गरेको, बुझ्नु होला र अर्कोलाई शेयर गर्न सजिलो होस् भनेर चाहिँ हामीले त्यसलाई प्रयोग गरेको छौं। अब साथीहरु पनि के अरे हाम्रो इन्भाइटेड गेस्ट पनि जम्प हुने बेला भयो। कसैलाई केही भन्नु छ भने हात उठाउनु होला प्लिज। उहाँहरु ओके, टेक भुजेल भाइ, गो अहेड। टेक भुजेल भाइ। टेक चाहिँ अर्कै मैले, ही इज टकिङ इन अदर प्लेसेस। कोहीसँग नाम चाहिँ मैले भुले, आइफोन भएकोले गरेर नामै भन्न नसक्ने भए म। हाम्रो आरपी दाजु पनि जम्प गर्नु भयो जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई। चस्मा दाजु नमस्कार। मलाई ओके दाजु जन्म आउनु भयो के आरपी दाजु हैन? ओके, यस दाजु नमस्कार। आज अफ हुनुहुन्छ? Hey, I want to welcome my second brother Milo to our group today, Zoom meeting today. Julie, you are mostly welcome to our meeting today. And I just said second brother Milo. Do you know what does that mean?
I don't know. It must mean I'm your second brother.
In our language, Milo means second brother.
Oh, I got you. Awesome. Well, I'll be your second brother.
Yeah, first bigger one and the second one. Okay, among three brothers, the second one is Milo. So you are second brother of all Nepali community. You are welcome, brother.
All right. Well, it's good to be here. Good to meet you guys.
Yeah. So without delay, I just want to go ahead because we don't want to take a long time, long night. First of all, I am Na-Rayan Pokhrel. I'm living in Pennsylvania, Scranton. I have joined ONPASSIVE on December 26th. That was my Christmas gift. On 25th, I have heard about it. Although I'm Hindu, but I feel that that is my Christmas gift from my uncle. And on the due course of time, I got in touch with Milo, Julie, and we had a lot of interactions regarding this ONPASSIVE. I just got a chance to learn from them. And I just want to introduce Julie. Julie is from Vietnam, and she is presently residing in California, East Coast. And she had joined ONPASSIVE quite long time back, more than a year, I guess. And our second brother Milo is from Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. He was born in Michigan. And Julie and Milo together, they have been inviting leaders and people who wants to give the interview in their show, the Julie and Milo show, and I was once there. I got a chance to be there. I was invited by them, and then I attended it. I don't know whether it was good or bad, but from my point of view, I did good. It was my not too much experience too. It was little. I was only a month old in ONPASSIVE at the time. I tried my level best to give my points. So without doing any delay, I just want to welcome first Julie. Today, Julie will share us her experience because she had interviewed a lot of leaders and senior leaders, even our CEO Asma Fares. She interviewed him once in the show, whether my friends got a chance to see or not, but it is there in Julie and Milo show. You can see that. So Julie will share us about ONPASSIVE, how she joined, why she joined, what she's expecting to get from ONPASSIVE. She will share with us her experience, and our Milo, second brother, will be ready sharing the same things and then answering our questions, which Narad will ask. I think he will see the chat box, and or he may have some questions already ready collected from other friends. So he will ask the questions, and Julie and Milo will share. If Milo miss any points, Julie will jump. If Julie will miss any point, Milo will jump and make us very clear about ONPASSIVE. So Julie, take this platform. Go ahead.
Thank you, Na-Rayan. Thank you so much for having me. Quick question. My dishwasher is running. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we are hearing okay. There's not
Dishwasher's always running.
Let me request one thing. Friends, my dear friends, please mute your phone so we will not be disturbed when Julie is speaking. I want to request all of my friends to mute. Thank you. Julie, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Na-Rayan, for inviting myself and Milo here today. Really appreciate you being here, and thank you for all the guests that's here listening to us. I joined ONPASSIVE back in March 2019. It is a gift from my dear friend Milo. He is now, he and I are doing a show that's called Julie and Milo Show that you and Na-Rayan have been in. So ever since I joined ONPASSIVE in 2019, I didn't know what it was. Milo told me that when you join ONPASSIVE, when ONPASSIVE launched, you're never gonna have to worry about money, not in your lifetime, not in your daughter's and your kids' lifetime. At that time, I didn't believe it. And I kind of sat there and I didn't really do anything with it because I was busy doing something else, try to bring in money. Unfortunately, at that time, I was with a company and I worked very hard. And I usually, when I join companies, I don't just go as a builder because I don't know how to build. I just join in by getting to know the CEO and work with the CEO. Unfortunately, a lot of companies that's been through, it's not about the CEO, who knows, things that might be happen and they shut down and there goes my saving account. So when in 2020, in 2019, actually, when Milo flew to Florida to meet with Ash, and Milo will go through that with you. But when he comes back, his statement to me, it's even stronger. So much strong that every single time he and I on the phone with each other. Now, Milo and I only known each other for 3 years prior to last year. And we only met each other in person once, but we kept in touch with each other and we became very close friends. Now, when he flew over to see Mr. Ash Mufar, he came back and his statement is even stronger. And if I was getting into something, he would say, no, I'm gonna focus in on passive because on passive, like he repeat that statement to me. And so I was at a loss at that time. I didn't know what to do. And I start going to and listen to the webinar that is offered on passive. When I listened to this webinar, I thought, oh, this is too long, and I didn't want to do it. But then Milo's words just keep ringing into my mind, you know, that you know, or when OnPassive launch, you never gonna have to worry about your money and your kids' money. So then I went back in and listened to more. And the more I listen, the more I learn from it. And what I learned from the webinar is I connecting the dots. And being a businesswoman, being in several multi-level marketing, I do understand the fact that you need to have somebody watch out for you. And OnPassive has created, and it's created with Mr. Ashmore for us. So you might, when you watch right now, you might asking me or yourself, what is OnPassive? So let me give you a little bit short. I don't know what's my time of speaking, Na-Rayan. Do you want me keep go on, or do I have a time limit? I can go on to that.
Go ahead till you can take the rest, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Go ahead.
Sure. Okay.
Share
All right. Let me
what you have.
Let me know if I need to stop, then I will. But so you might ask, what is OnPassive? OnPassive is an artificial intelligence information technology. When you think about that, you think about the internet, you think about things that's happening online. OnPassive is a register and made in the US, but it has the right to do business in 217 countries. And if you are a founder today, you go into the back office of OnPassive, you can see there is 108 languages on there. So OnPassive is a company that has everything to do with internet. It has everything to do with online. Many of us here, if we are an individual, if we are a business owner, we go online so much. I mean, you can see yourself going online more than 10 hours a day. Some of us just go online for shopping. Some of us go online to search things. But none of what we do, the time that we spend online doesn't make us the kind of money that we can make. So OnPassive, what it is that it's a company that is made for people. It made for people like you know, like on the a guest here that has a child. It could make people for any money for anyone. It doesn't matter if you have the technology skill or not. Anybody who goes on internet will have the opportunity to make money in OnPassive. And OnPassive is created in a way that Mr. Ashmore Farr want to uplift the condition of the people and also unite the humanity. What OnPassive could also help with business owner is it drive direct targeted traffic to business owner. And what it does it in a way where artificial intelligence is doing the work. And I know Milo will add a little bit more on what I share. So that is what OnPassive is about. And for me, the reason why I want to be a founder of OnPassive is because I do have business. And in 20 years, I'm struggling about how do I bring traffic to my business, to my online business. I have not found anything that would do it all for me, okay? That do it all for me. And another reason for me to join OnPassive is because of my daughters, you know, because of my kids. It's a life that I've never had. You know, I have dreams to be able to travel the world that I couldn't do. I have daughters that go into college next year, you know, that I need to pay for college. And I have a family that I need to take care of. And that just for me. There are many other reasons. There is time when I feel like I want to help some people. You know, there's time when I go to the supermarket or to go shopping and I want to buy something and I couldn't buy it because I have bills to pay. I have rent to pay. And so OnPassive will give me the opportunity to do all of that. And that's the reason why I am here sharing with you about OnPassive. And that is the reason why the Julie and Milo show, you can look at the show at julieandmilo.com. It is a show where every single founders can come together and share their story and share their passion about OnPassive. So I'm just gonna stop about me right here. And going back to you, Na-Rayan, if you have questions, Milo and I will definitely will address that.
Thank you, Julie, very much that you have presented our CEO as Mofare's voice that he has come to the world with the IT AI IT company with AI IT products to uplift the humanity with suffering a lot around the world. So that was the mission and the vision of Asmafare. And it is our duty to understand whether it is our duty to feel inside whether we can, whether that words will touch us or not. We are lucky we got chance to hear about this, and now we are on board and we are sharing to a lot of our friends. Yeah, in the world, people, different people are there. Somebody will believe at once, someone will take time, somebody will, it doesn't believe about it. It happens in the world. It's a nature, so human nature. So friends, our friends are sharing, they are teaching, they are sharing the videos, informative videos to our friends. We try to invite leaders. We did a couple of times before, and today we got chance, Julie and Milo, to invite. Thank you, Julie, for your words. Now, I just want to jump to Milo, our second brother. He will tell in and out of ONPASSIVE. He has personally met Asmafare in this 2 years, within these 2 years of time. He has heard from him. He interviewed a lot of leaders. He has personal touch with senior leaders like Red Redford, Dr. Bill William, Mike Ellis, Marty DeGarmo, Susie McRae, and a lot of them. So let us hear from Milo A to Z about ONPASSIVE. After that, Narad will go ahead with some questions, what he has collected from our friends. And then we'll ask our friends also if they have anything, they will jump in, they will ask. And Milo is ready to fire the answers to the questions. Milo, go ahead, take the platform, please.
Milo, your mic is muted, Milo. Unmute your mic.
I'm new to this. I hardly ever speak on computer. No, I'm kidding you. Hey, listen, it's so great to be here. Thank you for inviting us to come and talk with you. You forgot one of the main leaders that I interviewed. I can't believe it, man. We had this guy on our show named Na-Rayan. Oh my God, it was awesome, man. I mean, you guys got a great leader. I've heard about your team. I love your team. We love everybody in the ONPASSIVE family. I'm not kidding you. You know, and when he said, so let me tell you about my story. I got in 2018, back in September 1st of 2018, right after the company had started. There was only 2 videos out. And when I first, the lady told me about it, I said, it can't be true. It's too good to be true, because why would anyone do that? Because it's just too easy, you know? And so I said no at first, but that only lasted for about 15 minutes. When I started driving down the road, I'm like, man, you're kind of, you know, that's kind of senseless. You know, you're talking $102, and you spend more than that at the bar. You spend more than that at, you know, for a good dinner. And here you might miss out on an opportunity of a lifetime. And I do mean opportunity of any lifetime that I think. I've never seen anything like this. Honestly, no one has, because it's brand new. It's never been developed. But anyway, let's fast forward to November of 2019. I took a trip to Orlando. Now, not down there to see Ash, because I didn't even really know Ash that well. I knew him, but not that well. And just by chance, I was just going down there to kill time. That's really all I was doing, to take a little break. And so I texted Ash and I said, I would love to meet you, you know. And it so worked out. The first 2 nights he couldn't do it, you know, but the third night, right before I flew out, I'll never forget this experience as long as I live. Here, if you know Ash, you know, and you see him beaming from ear to ear, that's all real. When he walked through the door 40 feet away, you know, I seen this guy with this smile that looked as big as Texas, and he walks in and he throws his arms around me. He don't even know me. And he says, my brother, he says, how are you doing? and I could feel the love, I could feel the passion, I could feel his heart. His energy was incredible. It was off the charts. And when he sat down and he started talking to me, it changed my life forever, because I realized that this guy I was talking to was real. And it was crazy how it made me feel, because he was talking about, you know, how things in the world, the humanity, it's so sad that you know, here's people sitting on the street that can't eat. Here's kids across the country that don't have shoes, or their stomachs are big because they can't eat. And, you know, vets are sitting on the side of the road, and cancer patients. And he goes through all this stuff, and he says, what's really sad about this, he said, do you realize, he says, and this is what he told me, he said, do you realize, he says, I don't consider myself a wealthy man, he says, but he says, I got all I need. He says, in fact, I couldn't spend my money in my lifetime. And he says, my kids couldn't spend my money in my life or their lifetime. And my grandkids, I don't think they could spend my money in their lifetime. And I'm thinking to myself, buddy, I call you rich, you know, I call you wealthy, because, you know, that's not me. That's not where I'm at this point. But he says, there's people in the world that have so much money that they could give $1 million to everyone in the world and still not be able to spend their money. He says, that's wrong. He says, we need to love humanity. We need to bless. We need to uplift people. He said, we need to help people out. And then he got into telling me about this, what this company's about on giving, you know, and I think I say on our show a lot of times, I say, ONPASSIVE is changing the world one person at a time. And it started with Ash Mafaro, you know, and it continues on to all of us, you know, that when we first come in, we're looking at ONPASSIVE as a second stream of income, third stream of income. And we know that income's going to come in. We like to call them apples now. You know, we're going to get a lot of apples, but you're going to get so many apples that you want to get your heart and your mind in place. I guess it'd be heart and mind in place, that you know, you're going to know what to do with what you got extra, you know, because you are going to have extra. I guarantee you're going to have extra, you know, because that's the way the program works, you know. And what are you going to do with those? Well, a lot of times we, you know, now the founders have all got that, you know, but we don't want to move away from the initial thing is, what is it going to do for us? Keep your dreams alive, because, you know, at one point I almost forgot what mine was and thinking about everyone else. But remember, it's going to do something for you. It's going to change your life, you know, and it's an incredible opportunity. Anyone that's in, you are in for a ride of a lifetime. And I want you to enjoy the ride, because the ride is going to be a lot of, when you look back, the ride's going to be great. You know, it might take you know, it's been taking a while to launch, but when that baby launched, look out, baby, because we are going, and it's going to be a fun time. Anybody that's not in it, you need to be in it, you know, because I'm telling you, there's not a better opportunity out there. None. I've never seen one, and I've been in, you know, MLM network marketing for 40, 50 years. But understand, this is not a network marketing. This is not an MLM. This is a licensed and registered business within 217 countries around the world, you know, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. And thank you guys so much for allowing me to come and share my view or whatever. But if you have any questions or whatever, yeah, we're up for it.
Milo, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Milo. Yes, Milo, we know that I'm representing my friends. I know we need $97 for being a member or founder in ONPASSIVE. We know that part, $97. Number two, we know we have to subscribe one time out of pocket. That is $100 to $250 in between that, maybe $250, $200, $100. It is not yet decided. Now, the third part is 3 and free. 3 and free. So what is that exactly 3 and free means? Can you please explain that to our friends so they will understand more about it?
Absolutely. Personally, being a salesman, I don't like to say the 3 and free, to be honest with you, because all it means is once you have 3 in your organization, you don't have to pay anymore. So whether, you got 3, it's free. That's all they're saying is that, hey, once you hit 3, it's a break-even point. But guess what? The best part of it is you don't have to bring in 3 because you're going to get people from above you. You're going to get people that come in that the company brings in that drops into your sales funnel. So you're going to be fine. So when you put that kind of pressure on people, it's like, no, you're going to be fine. You're going to have 3. You're going to have more 3. If you've never looked at how this works, even if you have 1, let's say you have 1 in your organization, at the end of month 2, you're going to have 4 in it because you get 3. Maybe let's say you get 3 from the company and you got yourself. So that's 4. What happens in the second month? You go from 4 to 4 times 3 is 12 plus 4 is 16. Do you see how that multiplies? I mean, I like to say the story of, years ago, I used to hear, would you rather have $1 million or would you rather have a penny a day and double it every day? And, a lot of people go, well, man, I want the $1 million. Well, not me, because at the end of the month, you got over $10 million if you take a penny a day and you double it every day. And that's what this does, because you get credit for everyone in your organization. So if you bring in a person, that person brings in 1 or 2 or maybe 10,000. Well, guess what? All those people are in your organization and you're getting paid that subscription. You're getting paid like if you were a life insurance guy and you went out and you sold a life insurance policy, that residual income comes every month at the same time. You get the same money every month, although you only made 1 sale. That is the beauty of this thing. Does that make sense?
Yes, Milo, it makes sense. So what we have to understand is that it is not a hard and fast rule to share and make 3, but we should not miss our friends sharing it, right? We have to share to the friends. It is not to build the team. It's not to make 3 for us, but we should not stop sharing to the friends to win together with us, right?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what I like to say is, I don't need another person in my organization. So if you think I'm telling it to you for you to come in for me, that's not true at all. I'm telling you so that you have the opportunity to join me. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Because whether you join me or not, I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. And you're going to be fine. Anybody here that is in ONPASSIVE, I guarantee it, you're fine. So you have to get out of your mindset that you want someone to come in really bad for you. You do only because you want to offer them that opportunity. It's about them. It's not about you getting more money because your money's going to be there or your apples are going to be there. But what is not going to be there if your friend don't join in, guess what? They ain't getting any of it. And that's sad. So you want to tell everybody about it because you want to offer them that opportunity. Not that you need them to come on your team, because you don't need that. You just want to share the opportunity with them so that they have the opportunity to do it. And if they don't want to, hey, it's not a big deal. You just say, hey, well, just if you ever hear anything about ONPASSIVE, which we know they will, if you hear anything about ONPASSIVE, just come on back. You can sign up whenever you want to and let them know there's no pressure on you to get in right now. Whether you get in now, you get in later, that's just it's gonna hurt you or help you. The sooner you get in, it's all date and time driven. So you're gonna do better when you get in quicker, but whether you get in today, tomorrow, it's their opportunity. It's not about you.
Okay,
And
thank you, Milo.
That does make a big difference if you are in an MLM company, ONPASSIVE is not an MLM company. In other company, what you do is you have to literally beg people to come and join you, because if they don't, then you don't get qualified. In ONPASSIVE, you don't have to do none of that. You just have to be in and then share the opportunity with other people.
Thank you, Julie. Yes, ONPASSIVE is not an MLM company because we don't need anybody to join. We don't need to make a team. So in MLM business, we need to make a team.
Right.
That's the main point, that it is not an MLM. Now, before I request Narad to ask questions, I have one more thing to ask, to be myself clear and to make my friends clear. Milo, I'm hearing traffic. I know traffic on the road. Other than that, I don't know what is traffic means in internet world. Think that I'm zero about that. So can you explain, my friend, me, what is that traffic means, how it comes, how the traffic is generated, and what that traffic will do for us? Is it a traffic on the road or is something different traffic? Can you please explain to us very clearly?
Absolutely. What a great question. I mean, and some people don't understand it. Now, from an internet marketing guy, I know that you can build the most beautiful website. You can have the best product. You can, I mean, everything can look just great. But guess what happens if nobody goes to the website and they visit it? You get zero sales. You know, what happens if 10 people go there? Well, maybe you get 1 sale or 2 sales. Okay. And so you have to drive traffic. This is the worst thing that any internet marketer has to deal with. So you have to do either SEO, or you have to find a way to get the people that want your product, whatever you are selling. It doesn't matter if you're selling a face cream, you're selling a pair of shoes, you're selling sporting equipment, whatever you're selling, you want to get someone that values that. You know, you want to get them to your website. You know, you take the finest piece of art and you put it on a website that people go to, that, you know, I don't care if it's like Picasso or whatever. I'm not into art, so I can't tell you, but I know there's people that's into art, okay? And so you might have a $2 million painting and you put it out there to the wrong people and you won't get $3 for it, because it doesn't mean anything. There's no value there to them. So you have to find the people that value what's on that website. Now that's where OnPassive just blows it out of the park, because they not only give you traffic, but they give you targeted traffic. Now, what does targeted traffic mean? Targeted traffic means that, okay, if we've got OnPassive, which is a software, it's a website, it's all these things that it does for you. Now it goes out and it finds people who maybe are looking at building a website, you know, or they've talked about it, or they've got this, or something that they do or say targets that. Now, remember, OnPassive builds a sales funnel every day for you through AI. So you get 365 brand new sales funnels every day, which goes out there and says, hey, come here. I got this, you know, and people come there and they look at it. That's huge. So now what it's doing, not only is it bringing traffic, it's bringing targeted traffic, because I like to say that you can have 1 million people. Just like I said, if you had 1 million people visiting that art site with Picasso on it, but they don't know nothing about art and they care nothing about art, well, they're not going to sell nothing, because people's going to say, man, that's way overpriced. But you get people that know art, and all of a sudden you're going to start selling out. Does that make sense? That's what traffic is, targeted traffic.
Thank you, Milo. One more thing. I'm alone. I don't have a team. As Milo said that we don't need a team. Now, I don't know how to use any product. I don't have a good education. I don't know how to use these IT products. Now, I am the founder. I paid 1 month subscription. How I make the money? How I make the apples? Milo?
Okay, I think I understand what you said. Let me ask you this back. So you're saying you're alone and you want to know how are you going to be able to make the apples? Is that correct?
I don't know how to use this, any of the IT products.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Now remember what your subscription is and what you are paying for is you are paying for this company to, if you want them to, do everything for you. You do not have to touch a single thing. You don't have to know anything about it as long as you have your NDA signed. You want to make sure your NDA signed, but as long as your NDA signed, you can get into your back office. You don't have to do anything. Now, I like to say to people, you don't have to do anything, but it's good to know where the boat's headed. You know, it's good to know what you're doing. So read up on it and engage yourself in it a little bit, because remember, when you think that this is a $97 business, that's all wrong. It's all wrong. You're paying $97 or $102, but you are getting a multi-million-dollar business given to you, handed to you, and said, hey, you know, if you join, if you pay that, you know, you're going to get this because we will deliver, and they know they can deliver because it's all done by computer for you. And it will do it by computer. So whether you do anything or you don't do anything, you don't know nothing about it, that's fine. It'll do it all for you. Now, will you get there as fast as the guy that brings in other people? No, the guy that brings in other people, he's going to get there a little bit faster. But remember, because the computer works 24/7, it's going to get there too. It's just a few months behind you. So it will automatically make you apples. You know, you don't have to worry about it. It will grow over time. You don't have to do anything. But now if you are that passive person, if you want the company to do it all for you, it does take a little bit longer, and all you got to do is be patient. But I promise you, by the end, you're going to make those apples, because it's guaranteed, because those apples are there, and it's just going to collect them.
Thank you, Milo. That means force income, as Mike Ellis says, and it is, everybody says, it is guaranteed. Right, Milo?
That's correct. You just have to be in it to win it. And yes, it does, in it to win it. And once you're in it, you're going to win. There's no doubt about it. It will force you to be successful. You don't have to do anything, but it's a lot better when you do. And like I said, very few people, once the light starts going on, they're not going to keep it from their friends, because I'm going to tell you let me tell you a story that happened to me. So I have a friend that was an internet marketer that I know, and you know, I thought I called him up. I thought I told him about it, but I didn't. Well, guess what? Someone else signed him up. And so I get a call one day, Ronnie Ack, and he goes, hey, Milo, how you doing? I said, good. He said, I got to tell you about this great company that I've joined. It's called ONPASSIVE. And talk about your heart drop. And it's like, what? I've been in ONPASSIVE for 1.5 years, Ronnie. He goes, man, you never told me about it. I said, I didn't. He goes, no. I went back and checked, and I had never told him about it. So he joined someone else. And guess what? His team is almost as big as my team right now. You know, and I think to myself, and I'm like, oh man, I could have been, you know, I could have had twice the people in. Not that I'm sad or envious of him or nothing. And I told him that I love Ronnie Ack, you know, and I want him to do well. But my thought is, you know, I missed an opportunity because I didn't share it, you know. Now, did I know Ronnie wanted it? No, I didn't know he wanted it, but I knew that it doesn't matter. The thing of it is, when the light goes off, you want to tell everybody about it. And so you can sit back and do nothing, but if you mention it to your friends, it's more like you're giving them the opportunity, and you're wanting to allow them a chance to at least look at it, you know, to see if it will work for them. Does it make sense?
It makes sense. Thank you, Milo. Anything, Julie? Anything you want to add?
No, I think Milo had covered beautifully. I think he did. He covered it beautifully. So you have a lot of information.
Yes, Milo in Sweet 60s is very expert on passive. Yeah, Milo, thank you very much. Milo, I want to add one story that with you. Yesterday, I meet one of my American friends, the shopkeeper who was making my vest. I know him, but there was another guy standing nearby, and I was sharing ONPASSIVE to him. And he was a little busy, and he just typed and he just looked at ONPASSIVE and he said, "Okay, I'll see it later on." But the guy who was standing next to him, he asked me, "What is that?" "It's ONPASSIVE. Can you share me something more?" I shared with him, and he was more curious. He was more interested, and he said a small thing which touched me. He was in Florida 4 or 5 years back, and one 22 years boy came to him on their table, and he said, "Okay, tomorrow Best Buy is having open share. I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. So if you want to come and take part, come on." He requested the people staying on the sitting on the table. They were with the coffee, and these guys in 30s, 40s, they were laughing at that boy. And Monday morning, what happened? The guy who was sharing, the boy who was sharing, the other 40s, he became millionaire next day on Monday. So other who were around the table were laughing. So he shared that story to me, and I just want to relate to what you have said to us, to your friend, what you have told just now. Now, I just want to request Narad to throw questions to Mr. Milo, our second brother, what you have collected from your friends. And after that, I will request my friends, if you have any questions after Narad, if you have any questions, please just raise your hand and you can ask Milo, Julie. They will try us to give the answer. Let's go to Narad first. Narad.
Good evening, everybody. And thank you very much, our second brother, Milo, and second sister, Miley, Julie. So this is really an amazing night for us because we have our great leader with us. So on behalf of our entire team, I would like to thank from the bottom core of my heart for your valuable time and tons of information. Now, without being delayed, I would jump to the question. So I have gathered 10 questions, but out of that, some are already answered. So I do not want to repeat those questions. Let me jump to the first questions, and either of you, either Julie or Milo, whoever is comfortable with the answers, you are good to go. So I do not point this answer should be from here at the end. No, either of you can share us the answers. Now the first question is, we are really amazed by the Julie and Milo show because you are bringing really great leaders, LC members, leadership council members, and some other intellects, and even as Mufara, and you have gathered tons of knowledge about ONPASSIVE and their visions. So can you please share at least 5 to 6 most important points that you gathered from them so that our team will be educated or we will be motivated to go away. So again, why ONPASSIVE will be blessed to the poor people like us, and what you would like to share from those intellects, please.
Who wants to jump, Milo or Julie? Milo,
Julie.
Go ahead.
You know, I could take that answer too, and I'm very sure that Milo could add into that value as well. Why ONPASSIVE? 5 points, is that what you want me to say? 5 points of ONPASSIVE? Basically, to me personally, ONPASSIVE is a done deal for me. A done deal means that if I have a business, OnPassive will take care of my business for me. The most important part about business is that when you set up a business, you need to have a domain name, you need to drive traffic, you need to know, you need to have people that actually can answer questions about your business. And also what you're going to need to do is you're going to need a hosting, you need domain name, you need all of that. OnPassive is going to do all of that for me. Not only that, it's going to be driving targeted traffic. The word targeted traffic is very important. You know how Facebook and other company is doing right now, they advertising for us, but if they only give us a certain area or certain people for us to focus on to drive that traffic to us. OnPassive is driving targeted traffic. That means that if you sell a cream that help with wrinkle, you will have people that come to you that only looking for cream that has wrinkles free on it. Okay, so they drive targeted traffic to your business. That's number one. Number two is that it is automatically done for me. I don't have to buy more funnel. I don't have to do more. I don't have to spend more money to be able to have OnPassive to help me with that, with driving traffic. The third one is that OnPassive is giving me the opportunity that I can receive the profit from the company, not only from the company, but from my own network, okay? I get to receive any product within my network that is sold, I get to receive part of that commission, okay? That's number three. Number four, what OnPassive does is that it's basically giving me the opportunity to build my network without me going out there and try to sell people the OnPassive idea, the OnPassive message, or the OnPassive movement. OnPassive will build that team for me automatically because OnPassive has the artificial intelligence part of it to do it for me, okay? The fifth one is that if I have a business, OnPassive will be able to build that business, that business online for me without me have to figure out how to set up a domain name, how to set up certain part. And I only need to pay one-time payment out of OnPassive, to OnPassive for OnPassive to do that for me. If I was to run my business nowadays, if we were to need to run our business, I have to pay a lot of money out of my pocket in order for my online business to run fluidly. And that doesn't even count the traffic that comes into my business. OnPassive does it for me, and it does it automatically. And the cost for me to pay OnPassive is insanely inexpensive. I only need to pay one time out of my pocket. And in order for me to receive all of what I've listed, I have to become a founder. And a founder cost me $97. I've been in for almost 2 years now. Milo has been in for 2.5 years. He hasn't paid more than 102 because we pay with credit card, $102. Not only that, OnPassive giving me the opportunity to buy as many positions as I want, okay? Being a California person, I have to buy one position for me. If I have my business, if I want to protect my business, I have to buy the position for my business because I don't want to commingle the fund. Remember, if you have a company, and I'm not an attorney, if you are commingle your fund, you break that veil of protecting your business. So if I have 3 business, I buy 3 positions for my 3 business. Not only that, OnPassive give me the ability, and I list a lot of things, not just 5. OnPassive give me the ability to dream bigger. Give me the ability to remove my worriness away. And the best part of OnPassive, and it's so valuable for me until this point, is I didn't pay for mine, but I pay for my daughters. The best part of OnPassive that give me OnPassive fee.
Excuse me. Okay, go ahead.
OnPassive give me the ability and opportunity for me to meet every single one of you. And what it does is that it gives me so much joy and love doing the show with Milo every single day, 3 times a day. And it gives me meeting the best people in the world. And one more thing I like to bring up. ONPASSIVE is building, we are all building ONPASSIVE, the people like you and I, just normal people. However, ONPASSIVE has a top doctor in the country is joining us. Has a guy, Michael William. He is successful in internet, millionaire. He is a multi-millionaire. And why is he so passionate about joining ONPASSIVE? Is because he see what is ahead of us. And that's the value I can share with you about ONPASSIVE.
Thank you, Julie. I have seen Rosika iPhone raise hand Tumma Ambo Kancha and Rosika bani एकछिन पाउनुस् है. Sorry, Rosika, please wait for a minute, please. Kayam Adhikari, but Narad has collected couple of questions from friends, so I think he has got a few more. Let us please from Narad, then I will go to Rasika and Tumma Ambokancha and Kayam Adhikari, okay?
So thank you very much. So Milo, do you have anything to add, or we can jump to another question?
Well, the only thing I would add is you, not to Julie. Julie covered it beautifully on that part, but you also said we've met a lot of people, and me and her say every day, man, we are the most blessed people in the world. Because can you imagine having it's not even a job. We get together and we meet with these founders from around the world. Now you have to remember, we meet Michael Williams, he's a millionaire. You meet Dr. Williams, who is one of the top 100 doctors. We meet some incredible people, but we also meet people that don't have anything, people that are struggling in their life. And, we get to talk to them and we get to hear their stories. And I always say, me and Julie say that when this launches and we hear the rest of the story, we're going to have people back because we want to be like Paul Harvey and tell you the rest of the story. We want to show you what happened, and it's incredible when you talk to all these people and you hear the things. And like Julie said, it just brings it all
home. Thank you very much, Milo. Now the next.
मेरो नाम पनि थपिदिनुहोस् र मेरो नाम पनि थपिदिनुहोस् एउटा क्वेशन सोध्छु.
हुन्छ सर, हुन्छ. Thank you. Thank you very much, Julie and Milo. Now let me go to the next question. In the back office, Julie has shared a very nice message about the possibility of earning from Michael Williams. So I have gone to that, and he has mentioned the possibilities of earning incomes who are active. So can you please elaborate a little bit in simple language to our team members so that they will understand clearly, please?
Awesome. Mr. Michael William, he is a mathematician, okay? I cannot do better than him, okay? But I know the person can explain it in the simplest term, which is Milo. And Milo has tried to explain it to me many times, and Milo can do that. Milo can simplify that for everyone.
Okay, let me make sure I understand the question. You want to know how the math works, is that correct?
It's in regarding to the post that I put in the back office. Okay, and let me pull it up really quick. Okay, and I will you know what this is what I'm gonna do best. What Milo and I have been doing is that we talk to each other and we ask each other questions. When you listen to it, we role play together. Okay. Sorry, sorry. I'm pulling it up right now for Milo to be able to do that.
So it's something that Michael Williams said?
It's something that I posted on Michael William, and I haven't read it through right now. So I'm gonna pull it up and I'll ask you.
Okay.
It's in the back office at the Leadership Council tab.
Okay.
Under where I posted. Let me pull it up really quick, okay? And I'll read it out for you. And Milo can explain it very, very clearly
And
for you.
this question is very important for us.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I when I read that part, I believe that many of us should need to understand it. So Milo, give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up.
Okay. I got time, baby.
I know you do, darling.
हजुर हाम्रो मार्लो हाङ सरलाई पनि एड गरिराख्नु क्वेशन्सको लागि
Yes,
I didn't understand.
सरलाई दिन्छु म टाइम. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, which part are you referring to, Narad?
So it is about the possible earning for those who are active, the team members who are active, and the possibility of earning.
Earning. Okay.
So this is what he said in this thing. He said, please, everyone, take this in. In the end of 12 months after hard launch, ONPASSIVE generate 100 customer to you. Okay, write down 100 customer. Be super conservative, okay? These customer elect to be resellers. And at the end of the second year, ONPASSIVE will generate 100 customer. For each of those 100 sellers, you could generate 10,100 customer on your team. So if you could explain that for them.
So what it's saying, I like to say this, that every person that comes on your team, whether you bring them there or someone else brings them there, that is a winning lottery ticket. Not a lottery ticket, but a winning lottery ticket. And here's the reason why. Every person that comes to your team makes your team bigger. So if you have one person on your team, the company's going to give you 3 more people to go with it that month. Okay. And then the next month it's going to grow again. It's going to be, now you got 4. Like I said, you're going to have 16 because 4 times 3 is 12 plus 4 is 16. And it just keeps multiplying. So when you have 100 customers or resellers come in that first year, well, the second year, remember, you got 100 customers, but it's not, the first year you start out with 1 to get to 100. The second year you start out with 100. Well, guess what? You're going to get to 1,000. Plus you had 100 already. So you got 1,100 that second year. And it just keeps exploding like that.
Excuse me, Milo. Oh, okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So the way that it grows, it just grows by leaps and bounds. And a lot of times we talk about apples and oranges. And I say on our show, you know, hey, do you know how many oranges an orange can create? And someone said, well, none if they're seedless. And that's true. But if it's a seedless, if an orange has got seed, how many oranges can it create? The truth of it is none of us know, because the seed doesn't create an orange. A seed creates a tree. A tree creates multiple oranges. This is the way ONPASSIVE works. In other words, ONPASSIVE works like you're here, you plant that seed, you put one guy under you. Now that guy could not do anything, but that guy could be an internet marketer who hits a button on his computer and fires out 1 million emails. And all of a sudden the next morning you wake up and you got 50,000 people that signed up underneath you. And you're getting paid for every one of them. And you'll get paid every one of them the rest of your life. That's the most incredible thing, because like Julie said, even though you are paying a subscription, you're just not paying it out of pocket. So in other words, when you get that 3 in there, that's going to pay for your subscription for that month. So that's going to be held out to pay for your subscription. Now that subscription pays all the people above you. All the people above you get paid all the way up right to the top, you know, and so, but this is a very unique system in the fact that it doesn't matter if you're at the top or you're at the bottom or you're way out on the side or the other side. It doesn't matter, because of the way the system is built, that everybody is going to help everybody, and it is a team thing. Does that make sense to you, Na-Rayan?
Yes. Yes.
Narad, 1 minute. Milo,
Yes,
you forgot to add one thing.
that's not unusual for me because I'm getting old.
In your interview, Dr. Bill William, a renowned doctor, dentist.
Right.
If you, I want to say to my friends, if you don't have time to listen all the part, that is Dr. Julie and Milo show, go to the end part. Go to the end part. You will see, you will hear what the doctor said about an apple. How many apple? Number 1, spot to see here. Number 2, if you have a time, listen the video, the conversation between Dr. Shah and Dr. Bill William, and if you take interest on seeing it, you see the Dr. Bill presentation. There are in the presentation there is one paper inside. You watch it. There are apples. So from there also we will know how many apples. So I want to request my friends, Julian Milo, so Dr. Bill William, and Dr. Shah and Dr. Bill Williams interview. I think that is the presentation by Dr. Bill William to the other doctors who wants to listen about ONPASSIVE. So you can go there and see, my friends. Go ahead, Narad.
Milo and Julie, now we have one little unique question. I know most of us who are here today are very, very positive, and we are the community leaders as well. But in the community at large, there are various perspectives or thoughts on ONPASSIVE, and many of the leaders from our group who are not here today, or they might be here, they have encountered in the market or in the community that a lot of negativity. So how to deal with the negativity of ONPASSIVE questions like scam? Some are saying this is a scam. Some are showing us some negative comments or blog written in Google, and some are even showing us, they are sending us some negativity written about our Mofara. So we overcome that. But for a lot of our new friends, how to tackle this, or how should we answer them? So can you please share your feelings on these questions, please?
I sure can. I love those questions. I really do, because the people, when you look at what they send you, it's really easy to shoot holes into them, because number one, if they say a scam on it, chances are you can look who sent that to you, and at the bottom of it, they're going to do a review, and they'll say, this is a scam. This is a scam. Says, we're going to do a review and tell you. And our thought is, it's not as good as this one. Well, guess what? They're involved in that one down there. So all they're doing is they're taking what ONPASSIVE's traffic, they're using ONPASSIVE's energy, and they're using that to turn it around to help them out in their business, whatever they're promoting, So normally you will find that. I also say that, I don't care what, if you're looking for a scam, if you're looking for something bad on someone on the internet, you will find it out there, because I can tell you, you can type in Jesus Christ, and you'll find someone that thinks he's a bad guy. And it's like, really? Even though 87 billion don't think he is, but there's one guy that thinks he is, so he is. And people, it's like, really, you're gonna believe that? And when they start talking scam and stuff like that, hey, just point them to the product, and you're not going to change them. So the best thing to do with someone like that, you have a red button on your phone, you don't need to hear it. You just hit the red button. It works every time, man. The negativity goes away. You know what I'm saying? And you just don't need to talk to those kind of people, because they don't fit into your world. It's not something that I mean, you can look at it, you know, there's 560,000 people in it right now. You know, I had someone send me a thing that said, "Oh, they're terrible. Have you read the Better Business Bureau?" I said, "No." I said, "Send it to me, please." They sent me a thing. Two of them was that someone had taken their money and said they was going to sign them up with ONPASSIVE and didn't do it. So that wasn't really ONPASSIVE's deal, right? And the third guy said that he had asked for a refund and he hadn't got it. And Asmafal responded back and said, "Hey, we're showing that check went out on this date. Would you like me to send you a copy?" The guy says, "Oh," he says, "I don't want to do tit for tat." He said, "No, we're good." So all he was doing was trying to drive a point, you know, make a point for their business. It's normally driven by a competitor or something. Does that make sense?
I have something that I want to add into what Milo say is that you have to overcome it first. Okay? Because if you're not overcoming to it, then you still kind of like iffy in a way. The way how you overcoming it is plug in and know the truth information about ONPASSIVE. Because if you're not plugging in and you let all these noise out here that kind of bother you, you'll not be able to answer those questions. Like Milo had said, all those negative comments out there, you know, it's for them to drive traffic to their business. And the best thing is the red button, or you said, if you could please keep the word ONPASSIVE down, write it down in the mirror and put it somewhere and then say goodbye. Don't even put your stress on there for any reason, because ONPASSIVE is a real company and you are witness it. It's over 500,000 people, and not only the people that don't have education. There are so many talented people, doctors and millionaires are in our company. So I think the best for you to overcome all those negative comments is you overcome it first. You overcome it by plugging in and understand ONPASSIVE and understand and see through the knowledge that Mr. Ash is sharing and also his heart. He's very transparent. I don't know if you noticed, but in the back office, there are meetings, recording meetings that posted on there since 2018 until now. And every single leader, I think that probably about 5 or 6, a handful of them had said that when they listened and watched Mr. Ash from the beginning and watch him now, everything that he said is coming true. And I see that whole clear picture. So I think the best thing to do is plug in and overcome it yourself. Because yes, I mean, look at the president still have somebody to, everybody, you can dig up, he said, Jesus God, anybody can make a negative comment and post it on there. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Milo has another point.
Can I add one more thing?
Okay.
Can I add one more thing? One of the things that's always comes up in the negative world, you know, is people say, "Man, can you imagine that guy's collecting $580,100? That's $58 million." And I go, "Yeah," and it busts their bubble because they want me to respond with, "Yeah, well, what, you know." Yeah, so he's got $58 million. Do you know those $58 million is still in the bank? Did you know that he didn't use that at all? He built this with his own money. Did you know he'll give you all $58 million back to all the people if they want, and it's still not going to stop the company? The company's still going to go on. So technology and stuff will move whether we want to move with it or not. So, I mean, you're not going to stop it. You know, if you want to be negative, the best thing is, hey, just take your money and get out, and you know, you'll come running for us later, you know, but that's okay. You can do it now or later. It doesn't matter, you know, but technology is technology. It's like the internet. People back in my day when I was a young man said, "There's no way I'm getting on the internet, and I ain't, you know, what's an email? I got a regular email, you know." And I remember sales guys saying, "You know, I just learned to use a fax machine, and now you're wanting me to do this thing called email? I ain't doing it." You know, well, guess what? Everyone now does it because it's technology, and technology moves on whether we want it to or we don't. So we have two choices. We can either, you know, we can get with it, we can get on the train, We can let the train run over us, or we can step off the track and let the train go by and leave us. You know, I prefer to get on the train and go with it.
Narad, how many questions you have collected?
Now I have 2 or 3 more and simple questions.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that is benefiting our friends. I hope,
Moreover,
because we are getting very good answers.
okay, thank you.
Now let me jump to another important question. We are talking about marketing campaign after the soft launch. So we were told that our friends or nobody of the existing team will get the bonus. We will get the bonus only from the secondary founders who joined after the marketing campaign. So a lot of our friends has questions on marketing campaign. So how does this work? Like marketing campaign, if they have like the small team and if someone has bigger team, what is the difference and how the marketing campaign will work? Please.
Basically, I don't know if you have plugged into the meeting the other day. Marketing campaign basically right now is ONPASSIVE has already done some marketing campaign. We have already in a lot of the news wire out there in India. And I remember one time that Mr. Ashmufar said that there's going to be it's going to be doing something, and it hasn't been out there yet, but it's really preparing. It is in our private meeting that there's going to be marketing campaign in Forbes and CNBC, and it's going to be across the major media out there. So do you remember what Milo has said about the money that that we have paid? What I believe, and I know Milo could confirm that with me, is that that money hasn't been touched. That money is in escrow. The money that we pay, that money is going to be used toward marketing campaign. How does it help? Basically, it's artificial intelligence. When the marketing campaign on it, he is going to drive traffic to our back office. And you know why? I don't know if you pay attention to this, but in our ONPASSIVE blog, Milo, go ahead and address that, and I'll move on to the next one. If you will.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Na-Rayan, I think what your point is that you're trying to get to is the bonus pay. Is that correct?
One part is yes, and how marketing campaign help to build the team.
Okay.
So how?
All right, let me finish my point about building the team, and then Milo is going to talk about the bonus part. So he has already driving traffics to a lot of founders. I don't know if you pay attention, but if you go onto onpassive.com/blog, under the testimonial page, there are a lot of people who make comments in the community or comment in Facebook. What he does is he capture that comment and he feature it. Not only that, if you go onto the blog, you're gonna see the little hyperlink flash right next to it. If you clicked on that, it's gonna go to the person who make that comment. So the important part is right now, the most marketing that you can do for yourself is not only share. The second thing that you can do is go into the community and go into social media where ONPASSIVE is mentioned and make comments. Make comments about your excitement. It doesn't matter what. You could say, thank you, Mr. Ashmofar. And what he does is he capture those and he built it into the testimonial blog. And that one does drive traffic to you. And that's just a minimal part right now. But there's going to be a massive marketing campaign is going on and soft launch is coming. Milo, do you like to take the other part?
Yeah. So I think consistency is the key. Like Julie said, I mean, if you're consistent and you send out your video or, whatever you have, your posts, if you put them out there and you keep doing it and you think it's not working, well, it is, because here's what's happening is over time, every time you do it, all of a sudden it's like, oh, this guy's posting a lot. Well, we'll take him and we'll put him in here, and he puts it in there, and then all of a sudden you might find someone that comes to you. Now, the second part, I think what you were saying was about the bonus, okay? And the bonus was a little confusing at first. Myself, I was also. I thought you got paid $20 on every first level founder from the people from way back. Okay, but that's not true. You get $20 from the day that it soft launches. Every person that comes in after that day, you get $20 if you bring them to your team. Okay, that's first level. Now, if that guy brings someone to your team, you get $2. If that guy brings someone to your team, you get $2. And you get $2 all the way down. So in other words, if you bring, and now whether that doesn't mean that you have to bring them personally, say that if someone drops or the company brings in someone, say they bring in 3-4 people during soft launch, we don't know what that will be, but say they bring them in, you're going to make money on those people. Everyone below you. Now, the difference is the guy with a big team versus the guy with no team. So a guy with one person, now when the team brings in 3, he gets $60, right? But there's no one below him that he's getting any money on, correct? Because he doesn't have anyone on his team. Now you take the guy that's got 400 people in his team. Well, he's got 400 people, but there's some on the first level, there's some on the second level, some on the third level, some on the fourth, and it could go down 7, 10 layers down. He gets 3 people driven to that. Every one of those guys, will get 3 per month. It's not guaranteed. So I'm using a thing. It could be 5, it could be 2, it could be, we don't know what it's going to be, but a good average is 3. So if he gets 3, everyone gets 3. Now all of a sudden your check is pretty nice because you had all these people underneath you that you're getting 3 people sent to it, and you're getting $2 for every one of those guys. You see what I'm saying? And it's a big number. So that $2 becomes a big number, and your first level is still going to be roughly the same as the guy with 1, because it's bringing in 3. Make sense?
Again, my friends, we are talking only one-time bonus right now. This is only one-time bonus.
Right.
We are not talking about the other commissions. So I want to make this clear. Now, I think many of our friends have questions, but let me put one of the important questions from our team. Indirectly, we already got the answers, but I have to put this. Julie or Milo, quite a few of our team leaders or new founders, they have mistakenly enrolled, or they send the link mistakenly, and they are enrolled with different people who are totally unknown to them, and they honestly wants to bring under them because they are family members or very immediate friend, but they are facing the challenges to bring them back. So what do you suggest us in this type of issues or crisis? So is it better to terminate and join again, or is there any way to bring under them, please?
The best thing that you could do, since Milo and I are now leadership council, the best thing that you could do, it's depend on cases, okay? It's really depend on cases. But the best thing to do is you can write it down. We don't need, like they said it in the meeting, you don't need to tell the story. All you need to do is, for example, Mr. A email is this, supposed to be under Mr. B email is this. Okay, if you can just give us whatever the shortest version of what you need to change, just tell us what you need to change this email to that person, and we will submit it. I don't know, it will be done, but it takes some time. Right now, they're asking for patience. Okay, Milo, did I?
There's one part that it has to be also the person who has that, who they are a teammate under, he has to agree to that too. In other words, you can't just say, I want to change this one to this one and pull it out from underneath this guy. It won't work that way. You know, that guy has to agree to it too. It's got to be like, yeah, I don't know why they ended up here. I didn't invite them. But if that guy has already invited them, and because now they want to join, you know, their brother or sister because they got in, you know, no, you can't do that. You can't pull your team over to there. That would change the whole structure. At that point, you would have to buy another spot under your brother and start it again. Does that make sense?
You know what, Milo? I think that doesn't allow anymore. I think that was on the past few weekends ago. There's absolutely no more chain sponsor. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, that can't happen anymore.
Yeah, no, I think,
allow that.
hold on, Julia, it can. Okay, it can. They're saying they're not allowing sponsor changes like I just said. But say if, like he said, you know, that if you sign up under someone wrong and immediately you realize, okay, I signed up under this guy and I really didn't mean to sign up under him, but I signed up under this guy. You go to the guy who signed him up and say, hey, look, I didn't mean to sign up under you. I wanted to sign up under him. If he agrees to that, you submit it, then they will change it. But that's the only way they will change it.
Thank you, Milo. I was exactly going to tell the same point you told just now. I have heard from Asbafare in one of the webinar. He has told the same point. I was about to add it, but Milo did it. Thank you, Milo, very much. Narad, if you have anything, we will jump again. Let me go to Rosika iPhone, and then I'll go to Tumba Ampo Kancha. Then I'll go to Kem Adhikari, and then I'll come to Marohang sir. Okay, now Rosika, go ahead. You unmute. You are mute. Unmuted. Okay, go ahead.
Hi everybody. My biggest question is I've been reading all those on the back office and stuff like that, and it's been said like if there is no purchase of a product, how you meet subscription fee, and if you have a zero in your team, do you still pay for the second month subscription out of your pocket? That's my it's been like saying like only one time out of your pocket after a hard launch, but it's been so confusing to me to explain to my family, like if you don't make bring people on your team, do you still put out of your pocket? Like I need to convince to them so they can join me. If not, they don't want to pay out of pocket, keep paying and paying and paying, and there's no apple in your bucket.
Absolutely, I can answer that one. You'll never pay the second month, okay? You only pay one time. So when you launch, when you activate that wallet, that's it. After that, you will never pay again. And the reason is because you will have enough people in there, because remember the company's bringing people in. But let's say, for example, it doesn't happen. What happens then? Nothing happens. It just goes on pause. So you won't earn any money until that's paid, which will be paid over time because people come in over time. Okay, does that make sense? So you never have to pay the second month. It's always paid out of profit.
Okay, so is even if it takes quite a big amount of time to for people to come under the team, they don't make you pay every month for the subscription fee?
Absolutely, they do not. And
so it's not been like a collected, or your subscription is due until you get people. It's not like that?
No, that's the beauty. That is the beauty of this system. It does not ever charge you the second time. That's why, there will be no one will leave this system, because it's the perfect system. But I will tell you that you won't have that problem, because, the analysts are saying that by the end of the year, they expect it to be 100 million is what they said at first. Now they've upped it to 200 to 300 million, which means if you are in now, it's a breeze. If you're in now, you're going to win. You don't have to worry about whether you got money to pay for the subscription or not. You don't need it because it will be there.
Okay, because I've been trying to, bring my friends to the team. I'm trying to explain how good it is because Na-Rayan Pokrail is my cousin brother, and he's always inspiring me. And I was almost like quitting, and he said, "No, you are not quitting. I'm gonna bring you to this webinar. You need to ask this question. You're not gonna shut up. You just have to ask. They will explain you everything." That's what he told me. So I have this question, and I'm so happy that I had answers today. So I can explain to somebody else because they Google it and they say it's a pyramid schemes on the, the Google, like ONPASSIVE is a pyramid schemes, like you have to bring a people to get paid. And even on the back office, I have read this, like get 3 and free, and I don't have anybody, I cannot bring anybody. Oh my God, I'm paying every month. And it's, I have 2 kids at home. I can go to work. Oh my God, I was almost blushing and sweating. It's been crazy.
Right now you can be at ease right now. Right now you can be.
Rosika, thank you very much. And say what I say to you. Always buy few bags from the market and keep it home, right? Empty bags.
Yes.
Yeah.
He keeps saying to me, like, just get a big sack just to fill all those money apples.
let me add the same Rosika's questions, what I heard from As Mufara, and let me tell these whether I'm correct or not, okay, Milo and Julie, because this question is very important in our community. So what I heard about the analogy of apples, you remember that, right? The analogy with the Indian team.
Excuse
when
me.
he was giving.
Excuse me, Rosika, can you please mute? Thank you.
Well, as was giving training with the Indian team, he has given the analogy of apples for the first time. And where what he has said there is, if a people who has a 0 team, and we know that everybody has to pay for the first time, for the second time, if a people who has a 0 team and has a less apple can borrow apple from the upline who has many apples, more than what they need, and that keeps going like that. And when the person who do not have a single member of the team be able to collect enough apples, after that they can return the apples to the upline and start getting profit. So I heard in that analogy. So am I correct, Milo?
That is absolutely correct. I mean, I don't think there's any one of us leaders that wouldn't do that for any of our teammates. Now, I do not see personally that happening on your team or on my team, just for the fact of what you've got built above you. I do not think that you will not have 3 people, because you will have 3 people in your team, because even if you don't bring them, I can assure you there's going to be more than that there. But if you were on a team where there was no one above you that was doing anything and no one below you, well, hey, then maybe it would, but I honestly don't see that ever happening. But I guess if it did, I think you could go to anyone in the community and they would give you those apples to make that work for you, because remember, it's the betterment of the whole team. When you help someone out like that, it's going to help you in the end result too. It's just the law of giving. When you give, it's coming back to you. Makes sense. But yes, I think that someone, whether it's your sponsor or someone above you or wherever, they would give you the apples to take care of that.
Thank you, Narad. Thank you, Milo. Let me go to Khem Adhikari. Sorry, I think I have to go to Tumma Ampokansa. He was there second. Tumma Ampokansa, please unmute yourself and go ahead with the question. Please on your camera too, please.
Hi,
Okay.
Julie. Hi, Milo. It's an
Hey,
honor to have you guys on the Zoom meeting today. I have two questions. I don't know if you'd like to, if you want me to ask one at a time or both at the same time. It don't matter. But my first question is, when do you guys think Academy will go through beta testing? And so as Mr. Mufara already said that we're going to be producing a lot of products until we die. So as the product comes into the market, do they go through beta testing every time when they come in?
Julie, you want to take that one, or you want me to?
Do you want to ask for our opinions, or what do we see, or are you looking for?
More likely you guys' opinions, or what do you know about it? Like,
Milo, go ahead and answer that
Okay.
question, and I'll give
Okay, so
in-
what I would say is Academy has already launched. You know, it's already come out to the founders, and it's going to be go to beta testing. There will be founders that test it. Once those first, I think it's 10,000 tested out, it works good, then it'll come out to all the founders. You'll get to test it. So the key and what you're saying is, who's going to test it? You are. Whoever the founders are, they're going to get the softwares first. You know, regardless what software that is, Academy, O-Mail, you know, O-Capture, O-Connect, whatever it is, we're going to get it first. It'll run through, you know, a small amount of founders first, then it'll get bigger, and it will be all of the founders before it launches to the public. So you get to beta test it, you get to know how it works and stuff like that. And then at that time they release it. That's the way I understand it to be. Do I know that for a fact? I'm only surmising what I hear. That's what I hear is going to happen. Does that answer your question? I think that answers probably both of them, right? Yes or no?
yeah, kind of, yes.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, what
So,
are you still concerned with?
So I was thinking more like, you know, every time, like whenever the product comes into the market, like before it hits the market,
Yes.
do they actually come to, do you mean specifically founder members or
Yes.
as a customer? Okay. All right. That, yeah,
Yes,
that
it will
explains.
come to all the founders first, is my impression. You know, it might come to a few founders first and then to all the founders, but all the founders will get to try it before the public does. Does that make sense? And because they want to make sure that it's working, that everything is working. Okay.
Mhm.
So another thing I like to add to what Milo is saying is that a lot of what we're saying here is we are still speculating, educating, speculating, because we are plugging into the webinar. We listen to the webinar, and I think remember, all the founders are receiving the same information. Okay, we are receiving the same information, and I believe that from this point on, it is very important that you do not miss the ONPASSIVE private webinar. Even if you just could be in when Mr. Ash Mufarad speak, you will get everything. Remember what he's saying on the last webinar, it's coming. That means that it's coming so close right now. And if you missing any information, you'll be lost, because a lot of the leaders, if they have a lot of team, and imagine if you have a team of 200 or 100 people, every single one asking you the question, they have to worry for their own updating with information too. So at that time it will be lost. So I think the best answer that we can give is just stay plugged in, because yeah, Mr. Ash said it's coming. It's going to be really quickly. It's going to be really quick.
All right. Thank you. So I got second question.
I apologize in advance if I sound ignorant or disrespectful. All right. So my question is, so what are the means of income generation for the company besides subscription fee and the membership fees as we keep building our team? It's not done yet though. Do any founder members and the members be the part of the income from the sale from the traffic? If not, then it's gonna sound more like an MLM business. You know what I'm saying? Like if we are just generating income from the membership fee and trying to regulate same money for founder members as their what is it called, commission, then it sounds MLM business, right? So the company's obviously gonna make a huge amount of money. So do we have a part in it? Do we get any portion of it? If not, then what has Mr. Mupari planned on using that money for? Or
Absolutely. I'm so glad you asked that question. I am so glad. Now, you had mentioned about the product, one of the product, which is Academy, right? There are going to be right now in the website, and it's about 20 products. We have already introduced 2 products out. Okay, what's the main generation of income for ONPASSIVE is the products, not the subscription fees. It's the resale of the product. It's a subscription fee that the new customer is going to subscribe or to the product, and that's the main income. And every single one of us founder, we have the opportunity to resell those products and earning the commission from reselling the product. So there's so many ways of making money in ONPASSIVE. First of all, and remember this, one of the benefits of you being a founder is that you have 7 days of using the product. And within those 7 days of using product, you have business owners, you have other contact that you want to share that. And I really like you to picture this. You and yourself as a founder, you have 7 days to share with other business owner, and they have 7 days to share with everyone. Everyone that you share that products to, if they buy the subscription from that product, you make some of that profit from there as well, okay? And I think that's huge. That is huge. And that product isn't just the 20s right now. Ash has said there's going to be 40 to 50. And if you are listening to Redfern interview with someone today, I listened to it today. ONPASSIVE is a complete digital solution. This is only software. Think about phone, computer, internet that is coming. And remember, all of this is what we understand of ONPASSIVE. So we connecting the dot, and we are still speculating. But if you look bigger picture than just a subscription or the 97 or the package, then you only see that one side of the income. The main income isn't coming from there. The main income is coming from the product, the software that ONPASSIVE is produced. Every single product that we having, it's going to be its own company. It can be a standalone company. And many times it has been said, when that product launch, it's going to be $1 billion income. It's going to be not income, it's going to be $1 billion company. Imagine you are the partner, the co-owner of that company. So Milo, am I correct in that point?
No, you did a great job, but what I do realize is that until the light goes on, and I don't even think the light goes on. I've been in it 2.5 years, and every day the light goes on just a little bit more, a little bit more. There is so much more to this business than the subscription. That's a very, very, very small part of it. You are getting paid on everything. Ash shares all the advertising with you. Remember, now you can put your website on there, and you can build a website. It will build any website for you. If you're a multi-level marketer, it will build your business for you. Guess what? You get a piece of that pie. We all get a piece of that pie. It's much bigger than we think, so we have to expand our mind, because it's not your traditional MLM. It's not your traditional network marketing. It is a real company, licensed and registered. And do you realize that within 2 days after launch, it will be probably between a $3 and a $5 billion business. Now, just to put that in perspective, Microsoft took 5 years to get to $1 billion. Google took 3.7 years, 3 years, 7 months, and Amazon took 3 years and 4 months. Now we're talking about ONPASSIVE is coming on the scene. They're going to launch, and 2 days later, because of what they've already got. I mean, this is not speculation, guys. This is 560,000 customers coming in. It's going to be a company that's worth between $3 and $5 billion in the first 2 days. That's unheard of. It's never been done. I don't know that it'll ever be done again. You know what I'm saying? Although I do know that once it happens once, it usually comes faster the next time, you know, but we're way ahead of the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Not the
Thank
sharpest.
you.
भाइ अर्को साथीलाई
Thank
चान्स
you,
दिनु ल प्लिज
Tumamba
Bye.
bhai.
No, no, एउटा
अर्को साथीलाई चान्स
Go
दिनु
ahead,
ल
bhai. Go ahead. Go ahead.
अँ
Tumamba bhai, go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Just want to clarify on this one. Sorry, not sir.
ल ठिक छ भाइ
I need to clarify on this one. So, Julie mentioned about products and resale. I understand that. So I'm kind of thinking that we as a founder member will be we have a lot of what do I say, more like an opportunity for being a founder, a reseller, and a member too at the same time. So what do you mean by resale? Because not the sharpest pencil in the box, as I said earlier. So it will be more helpful for us to explain it to our downline so we can try to motivate them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what do you mean by resale, and how can that be done as a person who do not have much idea about information technology and
Remember,
e-commerce?
you don't have to have any information at all. No one needs any information. Now, the more you know, the better. All it means is that you can explain it to people. You can say, hey, do you want some software that builds your website? Do you want to have a VPN? A VPN is a virtual private network. You know, the more you know, of course, the more you're going to be able to explain it. But do you need to? Absolutely not. That's why there's videos. You just send them a video and they can look at it and remember, because of the way this is built, there is something for everybody. Everybody will use this software. You have to understand that. I mean, everybody, 100% of the people in the world will use this software, whether they use it as a Facebook, whether they use it as a YouTube, whether they use it as, if it's a company, they use the HR, you know, whether you use O-Connect and you're a guy that, if you want to be a musician and you use it as a platform for like a TV show, or if you want to do your own TV show, if you want to go into Academy, you can teach any business you want to. There is so many possibilities to go over them all. We could be here for days and not go over everything that this will do. It's just not possible to do that because it's so there's just so many things. I would encourage people to look at you know, what it does. Now, one of the things we did early on, we made up videos on the Julie and Milo show. If you go to the second button down, it goes, how will ONPASSIVE help? And it's one of them is churches and charities. Another one is real estate people. How will it help car salesmen? How will it help nail salons? How will it help, you know, all these different things, insurance. So there's like, what is there, Julie, 27 or 30, right?
Yeah, it's about 20 to 30. Yeah.
So use those those will explain a lot to you, you know, and you don't even have to know it. You just send it out. If you know it's a car salesman, send them out the car salesman one.
And you know what? One thing that I would like you to keep in mind It's ONPASSIVE is created for everybody. It doesn't matter if you know technology or not.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you know technology or not. It's created and for anybody, and it is a done deal thing. It's do it for you. It's done deal. So you don't have to know. Trust me, that's one of the reasons why Milo and I are excited about this time to build our network, because if you already have the network when it launched, you actually could literally just go on a cruise all day and travel the world all day. And that's how we feel like, because we plug into that information and we build that that network. Because ONPASSIVE, Ash has already given us that time. It doesn't matter if you in today or you in tomorrow. All you got to do is 3. 3 is just basically is something that is recommended. It's not a requirement. You could wait until a month or 2 months, to put in the 3 when it launched. But ONPASSIVE will do that for you. One thing I wanted to bring your attention to is that I don't know if you remember in May 2020, when Ash turned on the system of ONPASSIVE to see how long does it take to have 1 million people opt in. And at that time, he didn't use the artificial intelligence. He just used whatever at that time. He turned it on. And it's $1 million opt-in to ONPASSIVE within 4 days. So they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Also in November or December, when Ash throw out a challenge for everyone to do that talk about CATMO. I don't know if you remember what CATMO is. CATMO is spelled CATMO. C is a complete digital solutions. A is 100% automation. T is targeted traffic. M is money, residual income. And O is ONPASSIVE, always over deliver. Trust me, when you understand and you plug into the webinar like we do, you will understand that ONPASSIVE will do everything for you. And the money that coming out of your pocket into pay for ONPASSIVE to do it is insanely inexpensive. Milo and I have always saying we are right now building a multi-million-dollar business right now. And all it costs us so far is $97. And when it launched, it's gonna cost us maybe under a package is, he said about $100 to $250. The total of money that actually come out of our pocket is less than $400. And we are building right now a multi-million-dollar company. So just that point.
Thank you.
There are many friends who are asking the question. Bhai, Tumba bhai. That is why I want to stop you. Sorry.
Okay. Let me.
Sorry, because we have a lot of names. Please.
Let me tell our friends that please. There is a reaction button at the end. Click that and please raise your hand so I can read out your name to ask the question. Texting will not help because there are a lot of friends. So we cannot see the phone. So raise your hand, please. Let me go to Khem Adhikari now, please. Khem Adhikari, please unmute and okay, go ahead.
Hello, Julie. Hello, Milo. Hello, brother Na-Rayan. My question, it's more like a follow-up question from our friends before. I heard my first question and the concern here is what happens to the member, or what happens to the person that joined with ONPASSIVE when we launch the software and the market crash, or we expected something and it came below what our expectations. My first question to either one of them, Julie or Milo.
Milo, do you want to take that?
Sure. I think what you're saying is what happens if it crashes? Well, it crashed and you lost $100, but is it gonna crash? Like Ash said, it could. I mean, but the only one that he thinks would cause it to go down is the guy above. And I'm the same way, they said the Titanic couldn't sink, it sunk. Okay. Do I think it is? I think there's absolutely almost zero chance that it will. I'm very confident that it won't. Could it happen? Yeah, I mean, anything could happen, but I don't think it will.
Thank you, bye. Thank you. Bye. Please, I want to as Julie and Milo has got only 15 minutes more time with us. I have requested for 2 hours. So I will arrange next time. We will call these two guys again and we'll go ahead. I want to go to Marohang sir. Sir, unmute and go ahead with your question, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Milo and Julie, for your outstanding presentation and for your, again, very constructive and creative answers. And I'm taking this because most of the questions are already asked and you guys have already addressed a lot of things, okay? So I'm taking it as an opportunity to introduce myself. So I'm Maruhang Limbo. I teach at Michigan State University. So I'm professor. I know, Milo, you are from there, okay? So while we talk about Michigan State University, Milo, you already know that, and also teaching with the technology, or technology is already embedded there, okay? So that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed this talk, or like, you guys gave really, really good kind of like presentation. And first, and second, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Ratna Subba, who introduced me to this, let's say, ONPASSIVE culture, community, or whatever you guys prefer to say, okay? So as you guys mentioned, you have brought really good analogy of like seeds and the tree kind of thing, they were really appealing. And I'd like to thank Narod Pokhrel and Na-Rayan Pokhrel and some other folks, who really raised very, very pressing issues and compelling questions. And I again want to thank Milo and Julie for answering them, okay, really well, okay. So we were like a little bit moving towards, let's say, business, okay. So I want to see this one into practice. So, so my thing is, there were so many questions you guys already answered. Some, for instance, the subscription and other stuff and all, because I'm really, really interested to use it. I want to be one of your consumers, okay? Or I can be tomorrow your prosumer as well. Now as a consumer, tomorrow I could be prosumer as well. So only one thing, I would like to ask, okay? So you guys mentioned that, okay, so we are changing world, right? I like it. It's a really good theory, okay? So Milo and Julie, how do you translate that theory into practice, especially in developing countries? What does that mean and how that translate into practice in developing countries like Nepal? I'm from Nepal originally, and Bhutan, or some other developing countries in the world.
Julie, you got it, or you want me to?
Start and then I'll add to what you're saying.
Okay, how is it going to change? It's going to change the whole world, because it's going to change people, but it's going to change people one at a time. And how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? And that's what we're doing. So we're going to change the world only one time at a time. Hashima Farrell said, I might not be able to change the whole world, but I can change somebody's world. That is powerful. That is powerful when you think about it. So whether if it's in Nepal, Nepali, and you want to change the world there, guess what? You can. It's up to you. You just have to bring it to those people over there. You have to plant that seed. Once that plants that seed, it starts growing. Once it starts growing, it will consume a nation. I look at Papua New Guinea right now. Those people are powerful. You know what? They look at their country as, it's being ruled by very few people, but they are putting together a force that is going to overtake all those people. I mean, and be good, because the people who now can buy the diamonds, can buy all the resources, the other people were always held slave. Well, no longer is that going to happen, because now the people on ONPASSIVE are going to join together, and because they are going to become a community, they'll be able to buy all that stuff. And guess what? Then it changes the whole dynamics of the thing. But guess what, Marlon, we would love to have you on our show because your questions are a lot bigger than what we can answer right here. And I would like to go over a lot of things with you and show you how you can help. And not only that, just so you know, I was the Rocket football coach of the Michigan State
really?
varsity JV coach. Do you know Mark Staten?
Yeah.
You tell Mark I said hi. He won't know me by
sure.
Milo. He'll know me by Marlon. Yeah, tell him I was his Rocket football coach. He was 7 years old. Great kid.
Great.
Next.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Milo.
You're muted, Na-Rayan.
You are muted.
Okay, Julie, do you have something to say?
You know what? That is actually a very big topic. And right now we're running out of time. And I think that's the best topic that we actually can have a conversation with him. But the best thing to do is if you were to look at the Papua New Guinea webinar that just done a few weeks ago, that actually Mr. Ashmofar showed up on there. If you listen to that, I mean, what they're doing, and we actually interview a few guests from Papua New Guinea, and what they do is they try to save every 30 cents a time, and it takes her 2 weeks for that woman to actually save that money and buy a position for herself. And the best way is just, if you want to help someone, buy them a position, because if you give them $100, it's just going to end it there after they spend it. But if you want to help someone, buy them a position.
Okay, the reason I asked that. Okay, the reason I asked that question was like you guys say this is for or passive is for everyone, and I use technologies a lot. So I'm editor-in-chief as well, and I use different kind of technologies. And when you guys said, you know, like it's for everyone, and I assume that it's really user-friendly, okay? And that okay.
It is user-friendly and it is plug and play.
Milo,
Yes.
Milo,
Yes.
maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever we will get time, I will connect Mr. Marohang sir with you in personal talking, and then we will go ahead and we'll tell more about those things, because he's totally new, and I think he heard today or yesterday about this from Mr. Ratna, and our Marohang sir is fresh.